3, 2, 1, bing! It's Raphael, and we're just trying to get on board with AsyncVoter. We would usually have normally have the kickoff today. Oh, crazy things. Yeah, I mean, I think what we're talking about is trying to enable Raphael to take more of a project management role. Since I kind of like, as the number of projects that I'm managing increases, I kind of have to what's the word? Yeah, there's an upper limit to the number of projects I can manage, and I think really for the growth and health of Agile Ventures and everything and all the projects, you know, I need to like I need to empower people to like take things in different directions and so on. So yeah, I'm sort of remembering that I had like I'm basically trying to finish up doing this transfer to get the AsyncVoter from DigitalOcean onto Azure.
Yes, so which is what I've read about, and I'd read you had a little wiki item on it.
Let me take a layer off here. Go
on. So I'm kind of need to get up to speed with you on that process. I've only really run tests. You know, I've only run.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing to do actually is probably to start in Slack and probably to give you a bit more. So what I can do that is immediately sort of enabling is we can come over into Slack. Let's go over here. And so in Slack, what I'll do is I'll give you some more permission so that you can see the integrations, because basically if you're going to be doing stuff here, so let's go here, let's make you an admin. So you're now an admin in Slack there. And now the thing that's confused me a number of times is that the thing that Aresh has used is kind of not in, like there's this place for, like if you're in Slack, you can go and do this like apps and integrations, right? And so various things that we've done before come under that thing. This is like apps. And then you can say, right, I want to manage my apps. And you can say, oh, there we go, there's apps. So there's one down here. This says AsyncVoter. This is the older one, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, which we're now not using. This is, what is it even? Yeah, like that, or maybe this is the thing, but basically you can't control anything from here. There's kind of like, you know, this is where we've been getting stuck. Maybe I should be taking screenshots and parts of this. Let me also find the wiki. So what is it? It's async Slack command. Yeah, so I'm also trying to at the same time, you know, wikify. I mean, I'd rather have it in the docs directory than the wiki per se. But it's this thing here. So actually, like to manage it, it's in this, rather than the Agile Ventures stuff, you need to be logged into Agile Ventures, and then you need to go to api/slack.com/apps in order to be able to work with it. So if we go there, right, now we suddenly see all of these things, right? Yes. So, and I think this is, I'm not sure what the difference between these apps here and these apps here are. You know, so but basically you can, and this is where Michael was getting stuck before trying to do some stuff, is like just bouncing around in this app directory, right? And kind of going and not being able to make any progress, versus this, see the different URL here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here then we come in and we can see, for example, so this is where oh gosh, interesting, that's distribution activated even. So AsyncVoter, async. So here we go. So this is actually the live AsyncVoter app. Like if you do /voter, this is the one that gets hit.
Yes.
And so then there's a whole series of things like the / command, like the OAuth and permissions, and all these bits of pieces that control the app running and being able to talk to Slack and just for it to operate. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we can see here in that's taking a while to come up for some reason. Yeah, there. So we can see here, like this is the I mean, that was the vote. Oh, that's the voter. Yeah, we're talking about voter. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. There. So this is the place where, like, if one is setting up, an instance that's running, we got here. This is all specific to this TK. That's the digital ocean, but it's the same principle on Azure. In order for the app to run, it needs to have these IDs, secrets, tokens, etc. Right? They're all grabbed from the app credentials page in here. So like if we go in, so it's got a back thing. Where is the thing? Slack is so great in some ways. I have their admin interface. Sometimes I get a little bit lost, and it's running slowly at the moment. So maybe we should just move on. But oh yes, there we go.
To mirror what you're doing, but it might be. I don't know if I've got the right permissions yet. Or...
No, well, to try opening that link that I've just pasted into the chat there.
Yep.
And just if you scroll down in that page,
it says contact a member of your team who is a collaborator on this app, and they can help you.
Okay. So how do we then? Maybe you just need to log in and out of Slack again, because I just made you an admin.
Maybe.
So maybe it hasn't picked up your admin status yet, or maybe I just failed to make you an admin, and that's my fault. Let's go. Let me go and check that your status is as I had intended.
How do sign out?
Yeah, it's got you down as an admin in the system.
It might just be it need either time to propagate or
time to log in and out. But anyway, at least in principle, if that doesn't work this time, we can get onto Slack about it or what have you. Then the other thing, what's going on? But yeah, that's like kind of the key thing to realize as regards making progress on any kind of deployment or debugging a deployment is just realizing that all of the tokens and stuff are in this particular area that's different from the place that you might otherwise navigate to. But we've got that link in there. There's the app credentials. There's other bits and pieces. There's these things. I guess the thing that I have, the stage that I've got to here is that I've got the Azure thing. I've started to, you can see it's got a list of all the different ones. And so I've just created a staging one for Azure. And so I've started on that, but I still haven't round-tripped it. What I need to do apparently is I need to configure the OAuth and the interactive messaging. Maybe some of that I have done. So there's this kind of, I didn't even notice this for a while. Like there's all these links down here that it feels to me it's almost like that's a documentation, but actually they're all these different bits and pieces. So having navigated here to a particular instance of this app, I can then go down to OAuth and permissions, which I don't, it's taking a while to come up here. And it says, okay, on here, right, there's a redirect URL and install, right, these OAuth tokens will be automatically generated when you finish connecting the app to your team. You'll use these tokens to authenticate your app. So, I think what I do there is if I go into the staging one and have a look at the OAuth and permissions, I should have stayed with the other thing, shouldn't I? Let's open OAuth permissions there. For this one, okay. Right, so they get generated. And then it's doing here, we've got like a redirect URL that we have to have in place. Ooh. So I guess if we go back to the Azure thing there, and it's also like I'm sort of trying to like hide certain secret tokens and things at the same time. They can all be regenerated, and this is the testing framework. But so I've got OAuth permissions on the other one. So I'm just going to like click that green button, install app to team, and authorize the async voter staging Azure would like access to Azure Ventures. Yeah, and then I have to add a redirect URL. And then the question becomes, what should the redirect URL be? And I don't know. Like, so we've got the redirect URL. If we go up to AsyncVoter here. We get that twice, do we? Okay. This is the one, like I kind of set up this URL endpoint on DigitalOcean, or I think
yes,
it comes there. But so now we need, I think we've got a different, if I do a search in here.
you're going to need the one for Azure, right?
That's right. And I wonder if we've already been discussing that. I think we've, so then we've got a whole separate like Azure interface that that's then, which I will, we've got Portal Azure there. God, it gets so painful with all these different bits and pieces. But so I would need to add you to have access to the Azure thing. So I've got a dashboard here. I wonder if this will actually show me. Let's have a look. Virtual machines. Let's create a virtual machine. No, and I've had this before actually, yeah. So for some reason here, yeah, when I do Azure in my Chrome, it logs me in as with an HPU account, which is actually not what we want. And that's led to terrible confusion previously. Are you finding out you're able to access that page now?
No joy as my last check. I've just got to refresh the page. Yeah. Not looking good. I've kind of already logged out once of the team. Just sign out.
Okay. Oh gosh. So I'm just getting up my Azure thing there, and let's get the password in there. Yeah, for some reason in Chrome it just will not let me get into it at all. But so do you have a Windows account of some description?
Maybe, not likely, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to try here and see it. So anyway, so here we go. Look, here we go. We can see this is, so Federico is here. Now we've been very fortunate. We're getting, I think it's $5,000 of credits a month from Azure, which Federico all set up, which is just wonderful. I think here can I, okay, so I can add you as a co-administrator for, yeah, and then select at least one subscription. So I'm going to just put your Gmail address in there, and maybe if we're lucky, it will like invite you. Come on. Hey, Lara.
Hey, Sam. I was just watching you on YouTube now.
Uh-huh.
And you mentioned, like, do you have a Microsoft account login? I do, if you need help.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that we need one. What we need is specifically to enable Raphael to do this. I'm more than happy to kind of add you in here if you're interested in learning about managing these servers within Azure.
Sure. Just my Windows account is laura@adfactory.co.za. I've always been fascinated by Azure.
Okay, yeah. Lara at factory dot co dot
ZA, yeah.
ZA. Is it on? Yeah?
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Yeah, so it looks like it's added. It hasn't complained, Raphael, so.
Yeah, no, I just logged into Microsoft on my Microsoft account, so it's all good. I realize I'm using it on my I think Word or something like that on my phone.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So in print, I mean, now the thing is here from this position, I'm trying to have a look. Like, I thought that we had. I'm going to click check out. The new portal is here. All right, let's have the new portal. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't see any running instances in there. I'm fairly sure we do have a running instance because I'm kind of hitting it. Locally, we'll sit there we go. Yeah, there was, you could almost see it there. Yes. So now here we've got like so this is Aresh has installed Doku,
Yes.
which I'm really loving. If we go and have a look at I've got AsyncVoter Slack command here, and I do my git remote -v. Yeah, so I've got here like Azure staging. Right, okay, and actually this might in fact even be the URL that I need possibly to hit that. I've got this async, well, or something along those lines. But so, you know, with these remotes, and if we've then authenticated you into Doku, which is another thing, which I'm definitely going to get to today, then in principle you can start doing things like pushing code as you would through a Heroku command line interface up into the Doku instance. If that makes any sense.
It's making sense.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to work out from here, like if we were doing OAuth with this, what the URL would be. We've got public IP address there. Okay. Yeah. So we get a DNS name there. I wonder if then, by extension from that, let's still have a look at what we even get at that endpoint. What we're trying to do here is complete that. So go on.
It's such a long name, DNS name, and yeah, I've just brought up what you've have now.
Yeah.
So
right.
It seems to be resolving correctly. You just need to put in then the path to the.
Yeah. The thing that's slightly disturbing to me about it is that this is kind of, that's the Doku VM, but then we've got one app running in it. And I guess what I would be hoping is that we would be being able to specify which app. Like ultimately, I want to be able to hit, you know, multiple apps on that single Doku instance. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I would sort of, I mean, I wonder if we can do that. No. I guess, is there also, I should probably, I think for the Doku, can I do, like, so what I want to do, if I do SSH here and I do this one, and then we do apps there, so I can get a list of the apps, and then I can probably do help here, and maybe it will give me, show all the URLs for an application. So I want to have, let's have URLs.
There we go.
Specify an app to run the command on. We want it to be, what do we call it? I forgot what we called it. Is that? No, it's called AsyncVoter staging or something, isn't it?
Yes.
I think. Let's just do apps. It is called AsyncVoter staging. URLs. So now, of course, Lara, this Doku thing is all completely independent of the Microsoft.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. Aha. So that says that we should be able to see. That's interesting. That was the URL that I thought I just tried.
No, that's similar. It's not the. No, yeah, you're right. Actually, it is.
Okay, so I think that maybe that is supposed to be the URL, but maybe it's not configured yet.
Sorry, can you
Second.
That URL again?
Yep.
Okay, it's different to what you typed in.
Well, it may or may not have been, but that it's still.
It was different, yeah, but it's cool. But maybe you need to publish it.
Well,
oh, there you go.
Indeed. Well, no. See, this is the one. This is the one that we're getting from the interface here. It's saying that, you know, we've got this DNS. I mean, I think probably what we need to do is to tell this Doku public ID or Doku what have you on Azure that it, you know, we're going to like enable, as they will publish those underlying names. So that's kind of a blocker. Then we've got show the URLs. You show the first URL for an application. trace tag storage shell proxy plugin ls nginx help. So that's what we've kind of got there is an issue for, this is subdomains for Doku on Azure. And updating subdomain to Windows Azure website. How can somebody else do it? Okay, Windows Azure custom DNS website. Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of we've got it configured on DigitalOcean. It's okay, so that it's asking, I guess, to configure the DNS records, which I kind of know about from other stuff that I've done. What I wonder is if is that actually the right way to go, or is there a Doku subdomain? Let's let the Doku subdomain not working. Issue tools improve. DigitalOcean. Can I get that with Azure? Somebody there asking on DigitalOcean about how they can configure a subdomain for a site hosted on Azure, but I guess that's like they want their DigitalOcean element to point to there. So I guess we've got configuration for DNS.
There's a whole lot of this admin stuff kind of going on here. I'm looking at that first link that you saw on the last page.
Yeah.
Search page.
I mean, the interesting thing is it looks like here we've got this Doku public IP. I mean, probably the thing to do, we can sort of kick it around. I mean, I'll go shortly. There may be a setting in here to like allow, subdomains and link them up. I mean, in some ways, we could decide to fight this another day. Like we've got it,
but
so that we are. Say again.
Is it actually a subdomain that we're after? I thought we were after the URL.
Well, I think we are after a subdomain in as much as we want to be able to have a staging and a production environment, and we need to be able to distinguish between those two and have different OAuth between those two.
Gotcha.
Right. And that's how we've got it set up on DigitalOcean. I mean, in terms of our objectives, we could try first up for just getting a round trip working on Azure, because if there are the subdomain things is not a deal breaker. I would say in my quick analysis of it there, in principle, if we've got this. Like somehow it's connecting up to the running instance underneath, even though we've only got one app. Maybe we need to put multiple apps in before the subdomains even start working, or what have you. Who knows? But in principle, we can go back. I'm going to go back over. I've got the redirect URL for. I'm going to insert. This is back in the Slack interface. The OAuth redirect URL based on that point, and save that. There's an OAuth access token that's now been generated over here. I am not sure if that has to be carried back over to. See, now I want the wiki, which I've lost. I know it's over here. I mean, it's one. Just getting so. There's the configuring the OAuth. I don't know if that. See, we've done all of these things. Maybe that doesn't require an additional step. There's configuring the interactive messaging. That's the interactive messages. That has to be turned on, I think. Here, we have to enable that. And then did I click that? Click. Request URL. Gosh, and then we're going to look at what the interactive messages. We're going to have to, and so, I mean, you can put down like one thing is to go through and like change all of the tokens for this. But so now we've got that one there. It's going to be /actions. So we could pop that in there and do /actions. It may also end up. Have we got HTTPS enabled for this endpoint? That's another thing that may be a showstopper. Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. I have a feeling that may all right. Bit of you can say it's enabled. If I go back to the OAuth permissions, we may have Slack complaining that let's go look at the redirect URLs. I've got that set up as HTTPS on there, which would fail because the HTTPS endpoint's not working. I'm just going to save those URLs, and then just before I go, what I guess I will try and do is that that app is in principle installed. So we could then in our, if we got AsyncVoter bot test environments, we could just have a quick look here. The other thing we have to do also is we have to go back to here, and we have to say, I think we have to say add to Slack there, and then ooh, interesting. Okay, no, it's not installed. Like ultimately, once you've done all the configuration and got everything and all of the URLs and everything correct, you can click that button. It will say what have you, and then we would have well, we have got the in principle we could be doing this and the entity. Oh, so well, that's sort of at least it's a data round trip. We can see there, you know, that it's it's not. Yeah, it's spitting out something, but there's a configuration. So I think there's two issues there. One is that we may need to have the SSL certificates configured, and two that we, gosh, what is it? The subdomains thing may be just icing on the cake, but it probably, you can see there how we could spend all of our time on the subdomains, but even having got them working, that may not be sufficient. That's nice to have the round trip, and which I might be wrong that it's the SSL that needs configuring. But in principle, if you are now interested in looking into that, you've got, you know, access to this environment. I guess that the other thing that I would have to do in order to enable you to work on, I mean, you can still investigate this, but actually to get further is, what's the word? I need to kind of like get an SSH public key from you and then add it to the docu, because I suspect that, oh gosh, where is it? I suspect that in order, the thing that's going to be needed is this, we'll need to use this docu let's encrypt and these things on Azure, and then in order to access this, you need to be able to, you know, you need permission. So if you can send me an SSH public key,
sure, for
you, I can try and enable you to be able to talk directly to the Docker instance on Azure.
Sure. Cool. I've got the portal.azure.com app.
Mm-hmm.
I'll PM you my private key.
Yeah, I'll be online again in about a couple of hours, and I'll see if I can get you set up with that. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. Nice one. Okay. Onward and upward. I got to run. Catch you guys later. Bye for now.
See you, Sam.
Cheers.